Hello everyone! Elvis here, welcoming you back to Dubster Dive. This is my second attempt at trying to do this. My first attempt, I don't think was very good. So yes, we are here on trip number 2 of Mignana March, where we celebrate the legendary voice actor Vic Mignogna. So, before we get to today's subject, I would like to go back since it is the 10th episode of Dubster Dive and clear up a couple of mistakes I made on earlier episodes. Firstly, the Saint Seiya videos. Yeah, I'm aware there's audio issues, and we are planning on re-recording them, or redoing them rather, at some point. So, don't worry. Rest assured, those will be taken care of eventually. Next, Campione. I gave it a bit high of a grade, didn't I? In retrospect, giving it a C+, that was a bit much. You're getting lowered to a C-, Campione. I guess the last major issue was, ironically enough, during the Razafon Dubster Dive, I said I wasn't very familiar with Kira Vincent Davis. That was a very dumbass mistake on my part, being as how she plays Nana, one of the major characters, in Golden Time, a show that I had literally Dubster dived a couple of weeks before Razafon. Yeah, I know. I am stupid. But here's going forward to me not being as much of a screw-up. Like that would ever happen. So, what is Karneval? Or Karneval? With a K? Because it's like Mortal Kombat? I don't know. Anyway, it is a manga written by Toya Naji? Someone will correct me. Anyway, it started in 2007 and is still going to this day. An anime adaptation aired in April 2013, and may I just say, why did it take 6 years for them to make an anime on this? Also, why is the anime only 13 episodes if they had 6 years worth of material? Okay, so the anime was done by Manga Globe. More on them in a minute. Trust me, their history is very interesting. The dub would premiere in June 2014 and would be produced by Funimation Shion, everyone's best friends that we all know and love to this day. So, about Manga Globe, what are they responsible for? Well, they just did a little anime called Samurai Champloo. They also did Ergo Proxy, Michiko and Hatchin, Dead Man Wonderland, and Gangsta. Just to name a few. Oh yes, anyone following this company will know immediately where this is going, being as how I mentioned Dead Man Wonderland and Gangsta. Hilariously enough, 2 days after the final episode of Gangsta aired, they completely went bankrupt and the company went under, leaving their last project, a film called Genocidal Organ, in limbo before another company had to pick up the slack and finish it. So, they went bankrupt, but how much were they in the hole? Let's see, carry the one. How about 350 million yen? How? I genuinely want to know. How did a company that is responsible for making one of the seminal classics of anime, Champloo, like, screw up to such a degree? Regardless, I think it's safe to say Karneval will most likely never get a Season 2. So, what is Karneval exactly? Karneval is, well, it's a supernatural action that also tries being a character drama. And it works, kind of? So, it follows a young man named Nai, who is searching for his best friend named Kurtiku. While searching for him, he ends up coming across Kureki, who is someone in a similar situation, and by that I mean they also have a troubled past. When I say he stumbles upon him, this situation is a bit more complicated than that. So, they end up running into an organization called Circus. Circus is an organization tasked with hunting down supernatural mutants known as the Varuga. These are frightening creatures that basically need to be put down. They are created by an evil organization named Kafka. Yeah, so Kafka is the evil organization, Circus is the good organization. And the reason they're called Circus is every time they slay one of these Varuga, be it in a town or something, they will actually put on a circus performance to raise morale of the civilians. I guess that's kind of an interesting concept. So, Nai, you find out, has the ability to hear emotions, as well as other things. And for some reason, the Varuga and Kafka, the organization, want him badly. They are tracking him down. Circus agrees to help Nai track down his friend Kurtaku in exchange for him working with them as bait to lure out the Varuga. Kureki is along for the ride because he wants to, I guess, follow Nai since he interests him. I don't know, I feel like that one probably could have been explained a little better. So, yeah, that's more or less the basic setup for this. Now, going on from there, how's the animation? Well, from everything I researched, it ranged from being average to people saying it was really good. Good for this anime, I suppose. As far as the music, one thing I can comment on, it was okay. Some of the piano pieces fit really well, and everything seemed to be where it was, neatly. I got no complaints. Now, for dumpster diving reasons. The reason everyone's here. I butchered that sentence, but it's okay. It wouldn't be me if I didn't butcher something in this review. Right? Because I always screw up, right? Right? In all seriousness, though. So we have Nai, voiced by Sean Michael Teague, who most of you might know as Koenma from Yu Yu Hakusho or Oob from Dragon Ball. And it's really strange hearing him as a main in something as late as 2014. I gotta be honest, it's kind of a nice change of pace. And he really gets to stretch his voice acting talent here. It shows that he should have been in more stuff. Next we have Kureki, voiced by Greg Aris, who I don't think needs any introduction. As far as his most famous role, well, he plays the main in Dead Man Wonderland, but more recently he's Frost in Dragon Ball Super. Next, we have Skumo. I guess you could call them the resident lolly of Circus, and one of the main characters. She is one of the hunters of Varuga, voiced by Jade Saxton, who most people probably know as Koneko from High School DxD. Next, out of the mains, we have Yogi, my personal favorite character, who's very energetic, hyperactive, and overall is just a really fun character. But he also knows when to take the shit seriously when it hits the fan. He's voiced by Chris Bevins, and it's always a treat to hear him. The last main I want to highlight is Kurtaku, Nai's best friend, voiced by the man, the myth, the legend, Vic Mignogna. And do I even need to say anything? He does an awesome job here too. It's Vic. Rounding out the cast list, we have other characters voiced by Ian Sinclair, because of course he has to be in everything. Alison Victorin, Aaron Dismuke, Brandon Potter, and we also have Tia Ballard. Yes, this show has two of my favorite voice actors, and to top it all off, they actually interact and have to play off of each other in several scenes. This show gets an S+ for me. Yep. Just for having Vic Mignogna and Tia Ballard have to play off of each other. Dream come true seeing them interact. I'm sorry. Nah, but biasism aside, this dub wasn't that bad. In all fairness, we've heard a lot of these VAs in much stronger roles with better performances, but I think everyone here did a fantastic job. Whatever the case may be. The MVP this time definitely has to go to Sean Michael Teague as Nai, especially with how little we get to hear him. He definitely stands out as someone who has a lot of talent, but wasn't used very much, and I still don't understand why. Hell, in Xenoverse 2, he didn't even come back as Oob. They replaced him with Justin Briner. Now, before I move on to anything else, I'll give my show, yes, the show belongs to me. I will give the show its grade. And I give it a C. It's a solid anime, worth watching at least once, but it does have its issues, mainly a non-ending. Remember, I did say at the beginning of this, it's a manga that's still ongoing, that's only 13 episode adaptation. Of course you're going to have a non-ending, with several plot threads left unsolved, and there are several episodes where you just want them to pick up the pace a bit because you know you're closing in on the ending. And I'm not going to spoil anything here, but I mean, the last 2 episodes move at a breakneck pace just for a final boss meeting so they can say, there we go, we had a final battle. Okay, we can call it a day here. It's an ending that leaves you really unsatisfied, and to be honest, it's why sometimes, whenever these studios know they're never going to get a season 2, it might be better to give the show a filler ending. I know that's not a very popular opinion, and I understand that, but at least the show would freaking end. Then you wouldn't have to worry if it would ever come back or not. And in this sense, this show is never coming back. So its shortcomings are that much more glaring. But yeah, I'd still say it's worth watching at least once. Would I watch it again? Probably not. But hey, got to hear Tia and Vic interact. That was a real treat for me, personally. Now moving on to spoilers. So, yeah, about the episodes that I had an issue with. Firstly and foremostly, if that's even a term, there is literally an episode where they have to track down a rogue robotic rabbit that's going insane. It's an entire episode played up for comedic laugh about this, too. It's really stupid. And yeah, some moments might be a bit funny, but it just makes you think, what are we doing? We're not advancing the plot in the slightest. You guys do realize you only have a few episodes left, right? Next, we have Yogi. You find out Yogi has this weird patch on him. You see it on him, at least, throughout the series. And during his arc, when he loses his patch, he basically goes into a sort of berserker mode and loses control, and he gets way more powerful, but doesn't know what's going on around him. They explain that, kind of, and then it seems like it's sort of dropped. Again, confounding the message of, read the manga. I know I harp on that a lot, but it really is disappointing. And yes, I understand that a lot of these anime are simply made to promote the original source material. But at that point, if you wanted to read the manga, wouldn't you just read the manga in the first place? And say, screw the anime, I'm already reading the manga, I don't need it. So, as far as the final episodes are concerned, again, they crammed in a lot of stuff in the last 2 episodes, as stated earlier, just for a final boss fight. And Nai ends up running into Kuriku around this time, and you find out that it wasn't Kuriku, it was someone possessing his body and using his voice to manipulate Nai, so it was a trap? I guess? I don't know. Again, this stuff probably could have been explained a little stronger. That's just my thoughts on it, though. Regardless of my complaints with this anime, I still had fun with it. I don't regret watching it at all. And it was definitely a fun time here and there, whenever they weren't focusing way too much on the filler-esque content. I guess my last major complaint is the Varuga themselves. There's not enough of them. I mean, for them being Circus's main antagonistic force, there's only like maybe a handful in the whole series. So, I don't know. Feels like missed opportunity in my opinion. But yeah, when the character tries doing its character drama thing, I feel sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know how to explain that much better. I guess a good way of putting it would be you feel like they hang on the same melodrama for a little too long, that some things overstay their welcome. But again, I'll wrap it up by saying none of this ruined my experience with the anime. So, yeah, that was Karneval. What did you guys think of this anime? Did you guys enjoy it as much as I did? Hell, maybe you enjoyed it way more than I did, or maybe you liked it less than I did. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on it. And yeah. And if you have any other shows you want me to cover, hit us up. Thank you again so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed, guys. No, stop it. But yeah, guys. Thank you again so much for watching. I can't say that enough. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys next time with another show on Stop 3 of Manana March. Till then, guys.